All right, folks, let's get the Blink code to work. This is going to be our very first Arduino sketch. And I'm going to show you the process of getting a sketch all set up, compiling it, downloading it to the microprocessor, and actually getting it to run. These are the steps that we're going to follow for every piece of code that we do. So right now, here's my Arduino, kind of useless, it's not getting any power, nothing's on, can't really do anything with it because nothing's connected to it. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to get that USB cable that's in your kit, comes with all the kits, and you're going to need to go ahead and plug this into the computer. So with the USB side, we're going to go ahead and plug that in. And then we'll plug it into the corresponding port on the Arduino. Now, as soon as we do this, as soon as we plug these two pieces in together, the Arduino is going to have power. Now, I'm pretty sure you cannot electrocute yourself with the Arduino, but let's not risk it. Good practice is whenever we're changing the circuits, whenever we're putting circuits together, putting wires or wired connections together, we always want to go ahead and untether the Arduino circuit just to make sure that, we can't possibly electrocute ourselves. All right, so we're going to be on the safe side. If I go ahead and plug this in, so notice what happens is you should see several LEDs show up. There's a green one, two orange LEDs. I don't know if they're going to show up really well on the video, but this indicates that there is indeed power going to the Arduino. All right, so let's go back to our to the Arduino IDE. Oh, and I also should have mentioned before, IDE stands for Integrated Development Environment. So that's basically just the software that you use to write Arduino programs. Everything is all built in, interfacing with the hardware, the software, and tools, and all that kind of stuff. So it's an integrated environment for developing Arduino stuff, IDE. All right, so the first thing that we got to do, so we've got our Blink code here. Remember, we found that if you go to File, Examples, and Basics, here's where we found that Blink program already coded up, so we can be pretty much 100% confident that this code is going to work if we install it properly. So let's go over here to Tools, and notice before in the last video, before we had connected anything together, that port option was grayed out. We couldn't really select it. Now that I have my Arduino tethered, see there, you can see that. Now that I have my Arduino tethered to the computer, I can actually see how it communicates with the PC. And so we're going to be connecting through a serial port, and it's going to be a COM port. Forget about exactly what that means, but this is just a method of communication through that serial port. So what we want to do is we want to make sure that we select the proper port here. There should only be one option here since we only have one Arduino microprocessor connected to our computer. So let's make sure that's selected. Let's go back into Tools and Port. See, now we have that port COM8 is selected. You probably will have a different number, and COM1, 2, 3, 4, 5 doesn't matter. And also it should auto detect the board as an Arduino Uno, which is what we have. So make sure that you have a port selected, doesn't matter which one, and make sure it detects the correct microprocessor. So here's our program. It's already written. We know it's pretty good. Let's go ahead and click on the Upload button. Click on that, and if you look down here at the bottom, we're going to get some notifications. It's compiling the sketch right now, and it should be trying to upload it to the board. Okay, so once we get this white text here, that means we have uploaded the sketch from the PC to the board, and it should be working. And so here's what happens. If you take a look at the Arduino microprocessor, that green LED is on. Again, it's getting power. And notice that the orange LED seems to be blinking. Okay, and that, if you take a look at the code, is exactly what's going on here. So it looks like we have this digital write command that's turning the LED, the built-in LED, to high. It's going to wait 1 second, and then it's going to set that LED to low. Basically, it's going to be turning it on, waiting a second, turning it off, waiting a second, and then continuing through this loop again and again and again. Okay, so again, you should have basically something that looks like this, with that LED turning on and off, and that's pretty much it. This is exactly how we're going to be doing all of our projects. We're going to be writing our code, downloading it onto the chip, and then that chip is going to be running whatever we tell it to do. So let's do one thing. Let's go ahead and change the Blink code here just a little bit. So let's go back to the code. And what I want to do is I want to make this thing blink faster. Okay, so right now that delay function, it looks like what delay is doing is it's just waiting for a second. And you can kind of see that with how fast the light is blinking. Let's change that. What do you want to do here? Let's do 1. Okay, let's change it from 1,000 to 100. So this is going to be a number in milliseconds. So before it was waiting for 1 second, now it's waiting for 1/10 of a second. And so we've changed that code. We're going to need to upload it. It's compiling and uploading. It says it's done uploading. Let's take a look. And so if you did that properly, what you should see is you should see that light is blinking, and it's now much faster. It should be blinking several times. Whoops. Got my program wrong here. Let's try that. There we go. So it seems to be blinking a lot faster now, hopefully about 10 times in a set, or I guess since it's turning on for 1/10 and then turning off for 1/10, that probably means we're getting 5 blinks in a single second is what's going on. So this is the process for downloading programs onto the Arduino. And next, let's try and build a circuit.